Small clouds wafting silently from the spruce trees, one of the strange sights of nature. Billions upon billions of grains of pollen are dispersed by the wind. Each grain measures less than 1/80 millionth of a millimeter, yet it contains the blueprint for a new tree, the genetic code for a spruce that can grow to a height of more than 40 meters and live for over 300 years. Strictly speaking, a grain of pollen contains only half the blueprint, for trees are much the same as people. It takes two to start a family. Let's take a look at the love life and breeding habits of spruce and pine, from flower through cone and seed to a whole new tree. But what would Darwin have to say about all this? What will be the effect on genetic variability and the development of species if we plant only genetically improved plants, all of which have been propagated from a small number of parent trees? In the short term, there's nothing to worry about. Natural sexual reproduction will automatically provide a large genetic variation. Remember what we said earlier. Each grain of pollen has a unique genetic composition and fertilizes a mother cell that is also unique, which of course results in a genetically unique seedling.
But that applies to the short term, which with trees means a few generations. In a long-term perspective, 10,000 years hence, it's vital that we do not impede tree development and adaptation. So we need to ensure there will be a wide genetic base. This we do by breeding for different objectives and different environments. In fact, such work can bring about even greater genetic diversity in future forests.
But why do we need to breed forest trees? Do we always have to help nature? Isn't there enough forest in the world already? No, probably not. The world's population is growing all the time. When the trees we plant today have grown into mature trees, there could be twice as many people on the planet as there are now, perhaps 10,000 million. An awful lot of forest will be needed when our children and our children's children want paper, wood for fuel, and timber for their houses.
Making this film was both exciting and suspenseful. Since spruce trees do not flower every year, when we started filming in early spring, we didn't know whether the trees would flower or not. We just had to hope. Admittedly, the previous summer had been a hot one, and hot weather is one of the requirements for a rich crop of spruce cones. And there was another good omen in the winter. The ground under the spruce trees was littered with shoots that had been nibbled through by squirrels anxious to get at the male flower buds. A little-known sign of impending flowering, but a reliable one. Sure enough, the summer brought a truly magnificent crop of cones in central Sweden. We could breathe a huge sigh of relief. It will be 3 or 4 years before we see a sight like this again.